Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing our July results video. So I take a look at what we budgeted compared to what we actually spent for the month, and we see how we did in total. So creating a budget in my mind is not enough. Honestly, creating a budget is the first step. Second step, tracking all of your expenses. And then third step, comparing what you spent for the entire month compared to your budget, and then making adjustments as you go. So that is what we do. We make sure that we track every single expense, and then we go through and we compare that to our budget. And just on time, my sister is trying to call me. Not a surprise. Every time I sit down to film, I swear she tries to call. So anyway, we're gonna be doing that today. I wanted to just quickly pop on and tell you guys, I am gonna be going on vacation this next week. You guys are watching this on Monday the 3rd, so we're gonna be gone on Wednesday the 5th. And this month, I'm gonna try something a little different. I'm going to just upload 3 times a week. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm gonna upload videos instead of doing every day during the week, and just see how that goes. I feel like that will work a little bit better because of the fact that we're gonna be on vacation, and I obviously need to get videos up and like edited and all of that before we go. So I am gonna do Monday, Wednesday, Friday instead of doing Monday through Friday, and we're gonna see how it goes and then kind of adjust after August is kind of through. So I wanted to quickly mention that. I will keep mentioning that in some of my other videos just so you guys know. But anyway, let's go ahead and look. So in terms of income, I always have my Sarah Marie income, which includes like everything that goes along with my business. I also always leave a miscellaneous category because I feel like every once in a while something happens and you have a random amount of money come in that you weren't really expecting. So for us, we were able to bring in over $1,100 this month by just selling some stuff that we had laying around the house. We also got over $80 from our Discover cashback. We got a little over $100 for a like refund from our home insurance. So we had a bunch of things go into that, but we were able to bring in $1,150.35 in addition to like what we thought was going to come in through my business. So that's always great. So I think I'm gonna just jump in and start doing our variable expenses. Our fixed expenses have not changed, except for I did cancel our Little Poppies subscription. So that is something that's a little different. That is a bow subscription for the girls, and I decided to cancel that just because it didn't seem worth $33 to me anymore. So that is kind of that. So I'm gonna flip through back between my budget page and then my page where I track all of our expenses. So in terms of electric, and I've kind of talked about some of these other expenses and what's been going on this month in my weekly check-ins. So if you don't check out those, I definitely recommend like throughout the month checking it out, because I'll talk in more detail about what's going on with us and all of that fun stuff. So again, electric came in at $202.23, $202.23, which is obviously very significantly more than what we were, you know, anticipating. I am definitely going to kind of do some research on as to why that is higher, but for right now, it is higher. It was $122.23 higher than what I budgeted. And when I put together this budget, honestly, the utilities are very just guesses. To be honest, like I try and go based off of prior months. I try and go based off of what happened last year, but it's hard to know for sure. So it's really just a guess. So it's okay that it's over. It's still not like that dramatic. I've heard people have like $500 electric bills, and it has been extremely hot here, so it makes sense. Gas was $31.45, so under budget, 45. So that was under by $18.55. Cable came in at $163.46. $163.46, which is $6.54 under. I do have this plan that once we get back from Colorado that I want to look into the ComEd, our electric bill, and then also look into some options for cable. The problem is this cable amount includes our internet, and I have to make sure that our internet stays exactly the same, because at this point I can edit, I should say I can upload a video within like 30 minutes usually. And I want to make sure that I still maintain that internet speed. So I have to just contact them, go into a little bit more detail about all of that stuff. Groceries. Okay, so groceries, the way that I like to calculate this is we obviously do a weekly check-in where we know how we're doing. So in terms of groceries, we had $500 budgeted for the month, and last time we checked in, we were over by 55 cents. So if I add that together, obviously $500.55 is what we've spent. We have not spent anything else since the last time that we checked in, so we get to go ahead and put that as what we spent for the month. So we are only 55 cents over this month, which is amazing. And if you have been following along with us for a while, you know that that is not something that we normally do. Normally we are quite a bit over for groceries. So I'm really proud of us. It took a lot of hard work to get to that point. A lot of meal planning, making sure that we go grocery shopping every Sunday, and so I'm just really proud of us that we were able to do that. In terms of eating out, so eating out in the past was a cash divider for us, and I felt like we would get the money out and then it would just be spent randomly. Like every time we're like, oh, let's do this, oh, let's do that, like, oh, let's go through the drive-thru really quick. We never really thought about it because it was cash. And I know a lot of people think like, oh, if you have cash, you feel it a little bit more than if it's a credit card or like a debit card transaction. And honestly, for us, it was kind of the opposite. So this month, honestly, for convenience, I decided, okay, instead of doing the $200 in cash, we're gonna track everything and we're gonna try and like keep it lower. And we did not, we were just, let's see, I think we ended up being under a little bit, but we didn't save as much as I was hoping, and that's okay. But moral of the story, we have done so much better with eating out because of it being tracked in our planner. So we're gonna continue that for sure. And you never know if something is going to work until you try it. So if you're in a similar situation and you're using the cash and you feel like it just ends up getting blown so fast, then maybe decide to track it instead. I don't know, for me, I've been really on top of the expenses lately because I've realized like if we spend an extra $50 on groceries, that means that that's $50 less that goes towards our debt, which we are currently working on paying off Jason's car. So eating out. Last time we spoke, we had $6.40 left. So if I do 200 minus 640, that means that we have spent $193.60 on eating out. And let's see, it does not look like we have gone out to eat since when we got Chinese, which means that we are under by that 640. So here we could put 193.60. And again, that would mean that we are under by $6.40. So again, that's pretty amazing. And I've gotten a lot of questions about like, how do we handle some of these balances? So obviously anything that's red, we spent more. But like, let's say for eating out, what do we do with that extra $6.40? The way that I handle it is at the end of the month, whatever's left over, it just gets netted with some of the items that might be over budget, and it completely gets cleared out. And then the next month, so in August, we have $200 for eating out. And so we just have the 200. We don't have $206.40. I just like to clear things out completely. That just makes the most sense to me. But if you want to handle it like that, I feel like the best way to do that would be to do like a sinking fund. So I know Stephanie Ann, she recently switched up some of her sinking funds, and so now she's going to include household items in her sinking funds. That way, when you have leftover money at the end of the month, it goes towards future months instead of just being cleared out and acting like, you know, you didn't spend it, or you spent the, I guess, acting like you spent the entire amount. So anyway, that is kind of how I handle it. I've gotten a lot of questions recently about that, so I figured I would talk a little bit about that. Okay, so in terms of gas for our cars, last time we spoke, so we budgeted 100. Last time we spoke, we had spent $1.48 more than what we budgeted, which is okay. Me and Macy took a trip to Michigan, and there it took like 4 hours. On the way back, it took like 2.5. So it was a very long drive. So considering that and the fact that we're only over by $1.48, that's pretty amazing. And I just want to check, we did not fill up after that. So that means that our true total is that 101.48. And again, that means that we are over by $1.48. All of these amounts, except for the electric, are very small amounts, and that's kind of what I'm always aiming for when it comes to our budget. If we're over by a little bit, under by a little bit, that's great, but I don't want to see huge differences because that's not what we're really working towards. We're working towards really sticking to that budget amount. Okay, so next is going to be household. So we budgeted $125. Last time we spoke, we had $20.17 left. So that brings us to a total of $104.83 spent. And we did stop at Walgreens to pick up some Dramamine, I think. I don't know how it's called, what it's called, but it's the medicine that helps with like when you're traveling, if you're on a boat, on a plane or whatever like that. Jason gets pretty much every type of sick on planes, boats, everything. So we tried to get some medicine for him. So that would help a little bit. We also got some Pedialyte just for staying hydrated when you go to Colorado and the elevation and stuff. Sometimes you can get sick from that. So anyway, we picked up some stuff from Walgreens. That was $24.96. So that brings us to a total of $129.79, which means that we are a little bit over as well. So $129.79, which means that we are over budget by $4.79. Okay, haircuts were exactly the same at $40. My eyelashes were $120. Allowances were $200. These are all cash items, as you can see from the little stars. I put those in cash. And then our sinking fund was the same. Our sinking funds were the same at $1,040. And then in terms of unbudgeted, I don't think we had anything unbudgeted. And we did not do any type of transactions or anything out of our savings, which is normally something that I would document here. We did have a few things that came up that we did not really anticipate, but I netted that against some of our miscellaneous income. That's honestly just how I like to handle it. If we have something extra coming in, I'd rather just kind of net that rather than put it as unbudgeted. It was stuff that like we didn't really think about. We didn't really know that was gonna come up. We had to pick up another pack and play for Mila, one that's a little bit larger because the one that we had at Jason's parents' house was like the smaller mini one. And she's getting so big that she definitely needed a larger one. So anyway, we had to pick that up. I had to pick up a dress for Jason's brother's wedding because they had like a special, they had a certain idea of what they wanted everybody to wear. So anyway, we netted that against this miscellaneous income. So this actually includes or excludes those couple of things that we picked up. Okay, so that is pretty much it in terms of our expenses, because again, our fixed expenses changed or did not change. So all of these things are exactly the same. We are currently working on paying off Jason's car, which is this car payment right here. And I did already kind of work the numbers, and I figured that we would be able to pay off about half of his car. So that's amazing. We just really want to get rid of that debt. That's something that we don't want to deal with anymore. So it just feels kind of nice to be one step closer, and hopefully in another couple of months we can finish off strong. Okay, so I'm going to draw a little line here so I can write in my total. So our actual for variable expenses came in at 4,000. Is that right? Oh, you know what? That's not right. That includes this fixed stuff. So let's just add it up. 202.23, 31.45, 163.46, 555, 193.60, 101.48, 129.79, 40, 120, 200, 1,040. That brings us to 2,722.56, which should be $97.56 over budget, which is what I was thinking. So in total, considering everything, even that really large electric bill, we are only over by $97.56, which still, again, not something that I want. I would love it to be closer to zero, but with the electric bill being so high this month, that was just gonna be something that we couldn't really avoid. So anyway, did pretty good so far. I did already close out our sinking fund, so we're all set up for August. Again, we were able to put a huge amount of money towards the car payment, or towards the car loan, which is something that we have been striving for. Definitely going to continue working on that in August. And that is pretty much it for this results video. I think we did pretty well. Let me know how you guys did. Do you feel like you were pretty close to having an over or under close to zero? Were you significantly over, significantly under? I feel like if you're under, that's great, but you may want to adjust your budget going forward so that you allocate more towards whatever goal you're working on. Let me know again how you guys did this month, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.